Good evening, my dear colleagues. Welcome to another INGET Zoom series talk. And this evening, our guest is Gökhan Karacan, who is a research assistant in the Department of English Language Teaching at Istanbul Medipol University. Most of you, I believe, know him from his previous presentation with the same title, but this is going to be the second part of his presentation, and he's going to carry out a workshop. Gökhan Hocam graduated from the ELT Department of Istanbul University, and he's currently a PhD candidate at Bahçeşehir University. His research interests include pre-service English language teacher education and emerging educational technologies, specifically augmented reality. He also published a number of research studies related, but not limited to, technology. So this evening, his title is again the same one, Are We Ready? But this is the workshop. Gökhan Hocam, thanks a million for being with us again. And I'm really looking forward to this workshop. And I'm going to leave the screen to you. The screen is all yours.
Thank you, Hocam, for this great introduction. Now I'm sharing my presentation. So as Aydan Hocam has said, this session's title is Are We Ready? Augmented Reality in Language Education. So this presentation will be more in the form of a demonstration workshop. Again, we have 1 hour. It's nearly impossible to cover how to create AR experiences and apps in 1 hour, but I will try to raise awareness and I will show the working mechanisms of these systems so that you can take the lead later on. So actually, Aydan Hocam made the introduction. We don't need my own. So what do we need? So in order to create an AR experience or an AR app, we need 3 main things. First is the trigger images. So what do we mean by trigger images? So anything, any static image can be a trigger image. So for example, we have our coursebook page here. So any picture on this page could be a trigger image. As you know from the previous seminar, a previous webinar, you learned that we have different types of AR, and one of them is image-based AR, in which we scan a picture, which is also called a trigger image, to reach a 3D object, to reach a video or an audio, or both or 3 of them at the same time. So apart from trigger images, under the title of trigger images, we have flashcards. So we could use coursebook pages, flashcards as trigger images. And for the second part, for the second main component, we need 3D objects. In order to find 3D objects online, we have 3 different platforms that are mainly used. And in those platforms, some of the 3D objects are offered for free, but some of not. And you can take a look at these websites and platforms and see whether you can find a 3D object that you might like for your creation. So another thing is that if you don't want to use a 3D object for your cards or for your coursebook page, so you have your trigger image here, but when you scan this image, you don't want a 3D object to be playing, you want a video to be playing on the card or on your coursebook. For that, you could always use YouTube, but there are some copyright issues with it. And we have Pexels video and Pixabay video. In those 2 platforms, you can search for anything, a name of an animal or a place, anything you want. And then you could download this video for free. And since this video is a royalty-free video or image, you can use it in your creations with no problem whatsoever. So now we are moving into AR creation platforms. But before that, let me wrap up what I've told you. So we need three things to create our own experiences. The first is a trigger image. The second is a 3D object or a video or an audio, or let me say a pop-up text even. And the third thing we need is the platform to carry our creations on. So we need a home to do our creations at. For this, I want to remind that we had different types of experiences in augmented reality. As you can remember from the previous webinar, the first type was to use the ready apps on the market, on the digital market, like Google Play Store and Apple App Store. So we have Monthly AR, Spaces, there are so Pokemon Go even. So these applications do not require you to use any trigger images or any side products, so they can be used on the go. And we also have the option to buy flashcards, book sets sold at the physical stores like this, or like this. So when you go and buy these flashcard sets, you could also download the site app for that, and you can have your AR experiences. But the thing we're going to do here today is to create our own AR experiences from scratch and our application also. So we won't have time to do the application part, but you will have the fundamental knowledge on how to go about it. So in order to do that, we have two main platforms, PluginXR and Unite AR. And for more professional developments, we have Unity with the extension of Euphoria. So the first platform is PluginXR. And we can create two types of AR experiences on that website, and we are going to see them right now. So this is the website for PluginXR, guys. Let me refresh the page so that I make sure that I am in the account. Yes. As you can see, we have different options to create our AR experiences. We have publish in PluginXR app. So when you do this, your creations are going to the PluginXR app. So if you are using, or if you are planning to use one application throughout the semester or for a period of time, you could use this one. And you could have mobile AR cloud on which your creations are stored in the cloud, and the application itself does not require much of a local space. And you could also create an offline AR application in which all of your creations will be inside that closed system, will be inside that application, and the local size for that application would be very huge. And we also have the same option that works without the internet. And we have web AR here, as you can see. So this is one of the things that we are going to focus on today. So as you might remember, there were different types of AR, but the first one we talked was the markerless AR. Let me write it down for you, markerless AR. So in this type of AR, as you can see, we don't have any picture, any trigger image in between. We just select a place to have our 3D object or our, let's say, our video on. So IKEA application for furniture can be given as an example to that, or Pokemon Go. Of course, the Pokemon Go has the location-based AR feature as well, but we don't have any picture to scan to have that Pokemon Go character in front of us. So let's start with that. So first off, I want to create an insect. I have this insect card with me. I took a photo of it and I saved it to my computer to save time for you guys. So let's imagine that we want to create a 3D insect creation. This type of AR we are doing right now, as I've told you before, is a markerless AR. So we don't need any picture to scan. So every platform has their own library in it. So let's say we want to have an insect or anything else. It doesn't matter really because we don't have the picture to scan. Let's choose something here. For example, avocado. Okay. We have our creation here. We could scale it, move it any way we want. We could do it like this or that. So we could also add images, backgrounds, AT&T, yes, for example. And we could also add a text, write a sentence, for example. And we could also choose the text itself and play with it, move it any way we like. So it takes time for you to explore all of these. And when we are done with our creation, let's say that we are done with it, or we could even rotate our objects to any position we want. Let's do it like this for this time. Yes. Okay. So we click on share and the process is being done. It's uploading right now. So this is a markerless AR creation. And we will go into more detail in the real deal that we will do in a few minutes. So basically, when we scan this code, and we will see this 3D object and the whole graphics laid in front of us. So let's try it out on the computer. You know it already from the previous webinar, so we won't spend much time with dealing with the things that you already know. Imagine that you are seeing this creation in front of you in your living room with no white background. So it's up to you and the teachers, creativity to create any type of material they want to create. So let's be done with it and move into another type of AR, which we really dig. So another type of VR is image-based AR. As we already told you, it's also called as trigger-based AR. So it will let us to create and experience AR seamlessly in the browser with image as a trigger, and there is no need to install any app. If you remember from previous webinar, you didn't have to download any applications. You were able to scan the picture, and then you were able to get the 3D object or a video playing in real time in front of your eyes with no app whatsoever. Let's click on this one. So as I've told you before, I have an insect photo ready on my computer. So here's my AR inget documents here. So I go to flashcards and I choose an insect here. I'm also checking the chat box. Pelin Karagöz, thank you for your comment. Actually, we have free versions of nearly every 3D object, and I can show it to you right here, right now. So guys, we will come across with many problems while we are doing this creations. So we will need another set of competences, and I will talk about them very briefly. So let's imagine that we want to create our own experiences, AR experiences on this flashcard, as you can see. And I have taken a picture of this flashcard and I put it in my computer and I've uploaded that photo into the platform. So I click on assets. I can either add a video or 3D from PluginXR library. So first off, I should search for insect here. Oh, there are no results found. Is that a problem? I don't think so. So if there is no result in the PluginXR library, we should go check the Sketchfab. Sketchfab is one of the platforms that we talked about a few minutes ago. It has different 3D objects available to you, and you can have a free versions of these 3D objects, and some of them requires for membership and dollars. I know what you're thinking, but we will come to that. So I'm also searching for insect here. And here we are. The Sketchfab platform has different insects, 3D objects in front of us. We could choose any of it, and it could be on our main interface, or we could create our, not create, but choose our own 3D object from here. So basically, what you do is to go to Sketchfab and search for the objects and download it. But I've already done that, not to spend any more time. And I click on Upload GLB. So one thing to note is that different platforms asks for different types of objects. So there are different types like FPS, GLB, and OBJ. So different platforms asks for different types of 3D object types. So no worries, we have a solution for that as well. So I'm searching for my documents here, and I'm going to my 3D objects, and I'm looking for an insect 3D object that I've previously downloaded. So I can use this one or this one. You have the preview here. Normally we have the old texture, but when we convert the object itself, when we convert the type of the object, sometimes we might lose the color, the texture, and sometimes the size itself. So before choosing that, I want to see if this is a GLB file. Yes, it is, as you can see from here. So I'm choosing this. And I click on Submit. I'm also reading the comments, they are hilarious. And yes, we have our 3D object presented to us here. So what we do here is that we scale the picture or move it around or rotate it the way we want. So basically, you could do all of these stuff. I personally suggest you to make your object 1 centimeter above from the flashcard or from the trigger image. And you could move it back like this, rotate. So nearly every platform, including Unity, has the same working principle. But these platforms are more interactive than the Unity, because in Unity you have to enter the coordinates and enter scale numbers. It's a little bit harder, but we will come to them as well. So I am scaling my object. I'm also moving the object a bit higher. And I think I should do a bit more because we have the leg underneath the card and we don't want that. Yes. Okay, guys, I think it's good to go here. So normally this object is moving But when we turn the 3D object into another file type here, it might lose some of its feature. But so when you are in this, when you are doing AR creations, you won't have one size fits all kind of approach to AR creation. So you will always check for different file types, different objects and platforms, and you will do what's best for you. So it's up to you how to go along with it. I'm moving it a little bit back here. Okay, I think we are good to go. And we have many options, as you can see on the right-hand side. But it takes time to talk about all of these. It's generally about your graphics and the setting. So first off, we are going to try this one out. But before that, let me show you the different features we have. So for example, we could add video instead of this 3D object. So basically, when we scan this insect picture, we might see the video playing right away. But this website, this PluginXR platform, does not allow you to use YouTube videos on its site. So we don't have any YouTube section here. But Unite AR does have it actually. So we could also add an audio instead of a video or 3D object, or we could add an image or a background image here. It's really up to us. Or we could add a text. So as a teacher, you might go along, write a sentence that contains insect, bird. So it's really up to you. We are not here to talk about the instructions in ELT. So it's really up to you what to do here. We are just doing the technical stuff for this evening. So let's click on submit for this text. And as I've told you before, we can use more than one objects or videos or texts, anything you want. So I want to scale it down a little bit because it's too big and we need to make it more available, usable, and applicable for the devices that we are going to test them on, like the mobile devices, right? So I think it's okay for now, for starters. Okay, now we can click on preview to see the actual thing we've done, or we could basically go publish it. So it says it's published. What we do is now to scan the QR code. I don't expect you to do that, but if you want to do that, that's totally all right by me. So I will show you how it goes on. So we published it already, right? And I have my live feed from my mobile phone to you, and I'm scanning the QR code on the website. You are already familiar with this process from the previous webinar. And right now you can see my phone screen. And here I am. Hello, guys. So it says it's ready to do its job. And I choose my picture here. Yes, I have my creation ready in only 1 or 2 minutes. So please do not care about the 3D object itself. We didn't have time to look for better objects online. And we could do anything that we imagine, actually. So instead of seeing a 3D image or instead of seeing the sentence, we could have seen the video itself, but you know how it works here. So let me stop share the phone screen and go back to our own presentation. So yeah, this is how you do on PluginXR. And you have other choices as well. You could go to your library here. Yes, we have the markerless AR here and the marker based. And 6 of you have already scanned it. Thank you. That's really quick of you. And we have our analytics here. So this platform gives you 100 megabytes of data use. You should be careful in using, but of course we have solutions to every problem presented to you. Okay. And we also have a different platform that we want to show it to you, and that is Unite AR. But let me share my presentation back to you right away. Okay. So basically, we learned how to create our markerless AR on browser and image-based AR on browser again. So another type of platform that is really easy to use is Unite AR. And we had the chance to create markerless AR and image-based AR on this platform. Also, we have the chance to create our own application from scratch. You know, when I say application, I mean the stand-alone application with your name, with your icon on it. So you could do that. So let me show you how it's done on Unite AR. I go to the website Unite AR here, and I refresh the page just to see if I'm still logged in. I am. It's a good thing. So we have 2 options. So Unite AR is a bit easier to use, I believe. It has only 3 options here. Image-based is trigger-based, image-based. You know already about this stuff, right? And ground plane AR is another word for markerless AR, because you let's say select an object and place it in your view, and we have AR app creation here from scratch. So let's create our own project real quick. You will see how similar they are. So first off, we need to upload our target image. So I go to our documents here, and I'm going to my flashcards and pictures, and I want to choose the penguin this time. So I have a book here that we used last time. So guys, another thing is that we have target image rating. That's what you already see on Vuforia if you are using Unity as well. It's the quality of image detection. So an image should have enough sharpness, contrast, and resolution to be later successfully recognized by the camera lenses, the camera itself. So you could always rely on this, but 3 stars will do the work just fine. So I click on continue. Okay, and here we are with another platform with the same working principle again. So you could basically add different targets here. So I believe we have chosen it. So let me go back and start again. That was a little bit problem there. So Okay, we should have seen this left pane here, but there was a problem with the page and we couldn't see that. And I was terrified for a second about the website. Did it die? Okay, so guys, we have the same interface here. As you can see, yeah, we have our picture right here. So if we want to add a 3D image here, I click on, so again, we have our own library here. If I search for penguin, no results. And I click on browse and I want to upload it from my own computer. But before that, this platform accepts OBJ, FBX, GLB, and zip with the FXB with texture image folder. So basically, as I've told you before, different platforms ask for different types of 3D objects. But it's easy to convert them, and I will show it to you later on. So 3D objects, and I'm looking for the penguin one. I have my penguin here. You might not be able to see that. Let me show you how my browse section works. I believe you can see it right now. It's the penguin file here. Okay, it's uploading. Of course, I had better 3D objects, but they were like 30 megabytes. It would take a little bit of time of yours for them to upload. So that's why I'm choosing the, low size materials here. So we have our material here, and first off, I want to scale it down. As you might imagine, I scale it down. So I believe there is a little bit problem with this specific 3D object. So the creators of this object probably added a lightning, as you can see here, and it blocks our view. So when we are creating our experiences, we are likely to come across with different problems of all sorts. So what you can do is to overcome them. And that's what we are going to do here as well. So we are changing the position like this, and luckily the lightning goes away. And I also want to position it right here because I like it that way. And I turn it a bit round. I think that's a good, so when I rotate it like this, the lightning comes about. So I choose it like this. And I think we are done with this 3D object. You could add a text here, any instruction you might like. Inget is the best, for example. Let's add that text as well. So there are many options to deal with the design itself, but we are not going to spend any time on it. Okay, and of course we have images, videos, and we even have the 360 video examples here. What you see here is that you scan the penguin picture, and there comes about a 360 video on your full screen. So it's not exactly AR experience per se, but it's a different kind of experience that takes you from AR to VR. And we have video option here. The best thing about Unite AR is that you have the chance to go along with YouTube link. So you could add your YouTube link here, and when you scan the penguin picture, you will see YouTube video playing on that picture. But the problem with that is YouTube is using its full screen mode, so it doesn't let you to play on it. Instead, it directs you to the video itself, to the application or the browser, and that's a problem for us. Problems don't mean anything to us, as you might know, and what we do here is that we basically go to Excel's video, as I'm showing you before, and we search for penguin, right? It's a Turkish website and we could choose the video here, and we could find better videos that we could find on YouTube. So we could basically download them. Please be careful with the resolution. Choose the lowest one and download it and say thanks to the creator. Yeah, we're done with it. Okay, now I'm going back to here. I could even add the video itself, but we don't have time for it. We already have our 3D object and text playing. So you could also add your audio, right? And you can add your buttons. So when you click on it, different things might happen here. Text, audio, image, yeah, we've talked about it all. And you close it and we save and publish. So it took only a few minutes to do that, right? And I think we are good to go here. I think it's uploading. I click on preview just to see, yeah. And we are good to go here, guys. If you want to scan the QR code first, you can do that. In the meantime, I'm connecting my live feed from my from my mobile phone. Okay, it's connected. So when you scan this QR code, it directs you to this website. Okay, it's not a big deal. Let me give you the link right away. And yeah, we are done with it. Now what we're gonna do is to show the other viewers what they might see. So guys, again, we are here. And that's me from my mobile cam. And I'm moving back to Unite AR application, or if I don't have the app, I could share, scan the QR code. I am scanning it right now. 1 second. Yeah, I scanned the QR code and it directs me to the website. Okay. So I might scan this picture on the left, or I might use this, right? So I'm trying it out. Hope it works. Hope it works. Hope it works. Come on. Yep. We got the object. It should be moving, but it's not. Maybe that was a problem with the animation or the 3D file. No worries. It will definitely move when you look into it in a more detailed way. And yeah, this is what you will see. Yes, we have a good pause right there. Yeah. Okay. Now we are done with this part as well. Okay, guys, this is how you go along with it. Also, as I've told you before, we have the option to create our own app with many different images in it. So to do that, you could follow this instructions here. But of course, at the end, it asks for money. You could check them out for yourself. And yeah, so let me go back to my presentation real quick. I'm uploading it right now. Yeah, I'm back here, guys. Hello again. So we learned how to create our markerless AR on browser and image-based AR on browser on our website. So if we could just not text, type on the chat box, because I have to click on the button here and your messages comes up there. So sorry for that. So we talked about Unite AR. Now we are going to talk about the other platforms. We have Assembler Edu. It's another great platform and you could definitely use that. And we had Arise 2 or 3 years ago. We were, personally, I was talking about Arise and how it's great for education. But what happened was that the company has changed its maneuver, its trajectory into art design. and now we cannot use it for education purposes. So Augment is another platform. It's mainly for marketing and education. We have Assembler, as I've told you before. It's easy to create your experiences. We have desktop and mobile versions like many others. We have Arlupa with 7 days of trial. No worries, we got solution to that as well. And we have MyWeb AR. So it requires a credit card to go along with it. And it can be used for a variety of purposes, ranging from education to marketing. Okay. So here is my favorite part. We are slowly coming to an end, guys, no worries. So here are some tips and hints that I've personally prepared for you. As I've told you before, apps come and go. Today we might have PluginXR and Unite AR, but tomorrow we might not have those. In such a case, you should have the digital competence to go and explore, search for YouTube tutorials and go into different websites and try and explore the things that might work best for you. And another thing is 3D object converters. If your platform asks for a different type of file type, right, you should just go online and search for converting .abc to XYZ, for example, and you will see the conversion websites there. So you could also use royalty. So in your creations, you will need different images, like royalty-free images are needed, the images that you don't need to pay, and the images that you won't have any problem with with copyright issues. For that, I'm giving you a list of different royalty-free libraries. You could check out them and download any picture you want, and you can use them for free. So another thing is sign-ups and trials. So every website every platform per se has their own limitations. Some of them wants you to stay only for 7 days in their platform without paying any money. And the others give you 5 creation limitation, or the others might give you a limited local space like 100 megabytes for your creations. So for that, you could sign up for your other Gmail accounts, or you could do something like this. You could use the information in the chat box, and I won't say it out loud, and we might go further from there. And also another thing is that some of the websites asks for credit card number to even start it, free trial. For that, I suggest you to use your virtual credit cards, sanal cards, right? And you could also, since you have the limitation in your creations, like 5 creations per person or per account or 100 megabytes of space, you could flip this whole game around by instructing your students to create their experiences, and you will be amazed by what they can come up with. So suddenly you will have 20 accounts available to you if you don't have the budget. So there are always courses available on AR and VR that you can take from professors from great universities around the world. They give you different tutorials. This demonstration workshop was to raise awareness and to show how easy it is to do that. So here are different platforms for you to go and check, like Udemy, FutureLearn, edX, Coursera, and LinkedIn Learning, and YouTube, of course. Just go and check if you are really into that. Hire professional with an asterisk on. So it's not easy for teachers to have the budget to hire professionals. I've noted down here just to say that some of you might be working for private institutions, or you might be creating a project for the European Union. You might have a budget. Some of you might have a budget. That's why I wanted to put this on. So you could hire professionals on different websites like Be On Look. Armut and Fiverr. It's an international website, by the way. So there are lots of 3D graphic designers and AR, VR developers there. And also, I would suggest you to collab with the experts in the area. You might have an IT department, an IT teacher, or computer engineering department at your university or in your school. So you could always collab with them. You have the fundamental knowledge of how AR works, and you're already very proficient in your own field. You might get help from them, and many professionals do so. So I'm also sharing 2 of my academic studies on the AR creation. With them, you will see how pre-service English teachers create their experiences. You could share the first article that is about educational augmented reality, but you shouldn't share the next one, the chapter 1. It's for your own personal use. And also, yeah, thank you for being here, for spending your Friday evening with me. I guess we are just on time for the questions as well. If you like to follow what I'm up to and send me messages, you can scan the QR code here to reach my socials and my academic accounts as well. And yeah, thank you. Also, Aydan Hocam, should I move forward?
Well, we can do that. But first of all, I really want to express my gratitude to you for this amazing session. Fascinated again, as usual.
Really?
Thank you. I don't know how to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, times a million.
Thank you, Hocam. That was all. Thank you, guys, for being here. And if you have any questions, I might just take them.
Okay. Thank you again, Gökhan Hocam. My dear colleagues, do you have any questions or any comments that you would like to share? By the way, Gökhan Hocam, can you see the chat box?
Yes, now I can, Hocam. Yeah.
Yes, Ali Hocam is expressing compliments. Betül Hocam also says it was great. Yes. Thank you. I think, yeah, Ferhat Hocam, how are you? Says great. Volkan Hocam says excellent. So you're getting lots of compliments here. By the way, today we have also as our guest Hüsnü Hocam. It's an honor to have you, Hüsnü Hocam, with us. I also saw Derin Hoca somewhere. Is she with us? I don't know.
She disconnected and came back again. I think that was a problem with her connection.
Yeah, I cannot see her name now in the participants part, but maybe it was an internet problem. I know I have noticed that some people lost the connection, tried to come back several times. Yeah. So yes, technology is great, but Volkan Hocam has had a horrible experience recently.
Last week with Twinkle Twinkle, right? Hocam?
Yes, yes. So he knows from the first-hand experience the connection problems.
I'm familiar with it, so it's not something different for me. I'm used to it.
Betül Hocam, do you want me to read your question, or would you like to ask your own question?
Hocam,
okay, you have already asked. In any other question? I think people need to first study, try these out, and then maybe they will have questions. I personally, for example, do not feel competent enough to ask you a question. Asking a question itself needs certain level of competence, you know. Yes, Cemil Hocam, Gökhan Hocam also shared his email address if you would like to contact him maybe later. Of course, don't forget that he's a full-time employee and he's also working on his PhD degree. So do not bombard him with your emails, please. But if you have a burning desire to learn something about it, I bet he will answer you.
Surely hocam.
I do not see any other questions. I'm just.
Hocam, can I say a few words then until we have any questions?
Of
So,
course.
it has been really difficult to squeeze everything related to AR into 2 sessions only. We could talk about all of these for days. I just wanted to show you the basics, the fundamental parts of it to raise some awareness. And after this webinar, and if you are watching this on YouTube later on in the future time, after this, I think you'll have the courage to go along and try these new technologies and implement into your class, and you will also have the audacity to work with others, work with other experts in the field and IT teachers. These 21st century skills, like the collaboration with others is very important, and I suggest my friends and my teachers to do the same. And if they have any questions after they are watching the the recording of this session later on, I might as well reply to them all.
Yes, eagerly. Definitely. It requires a level of courage to try these out, but when I watch the video myself later, I will pause at certain points, and then I will slowly try them out, because in this session, because you had limited time, you were in a hurry to cover everything. So, for example, I couldn't do some of the things, I couldn't try some of the things, and Gökhan Hocam had already warned me, said an hour would not be enough. And I said, I'm sorry, but our sessions are only for an hour. So he said, okay. What I like about Gökhan Hocam is whenever I say something thinking that it's a problem, he always says, no problem. There's no problem. We will solve the problem.
Sort them out. Yeah.
So the excellent attitude. I think we should all adopt this attitude. If there's a problem, don't worry, we'll find a way to solve it.
Yeah.
So he did a great job kind of squeezing everything in a kind of a compact manner and gave us a taste. Yes. And I will definitely try the video, pausing, trying out, going back, listening to it again, and I will learn some of the stuff, but not the insect part. I hated that part. I hated that part. Why did you have to choose an insect for that?
Hocam, I didn't see, insect as a harm. It's just like another lovely animal to me.
Lovely animal, Gökhan Hocam.
Yes.
You need to see a doctor soon. Penguin.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay,
right, yeah.
Wonderful, great. Choose a cat, a dog. I don't know. Why an insect for? And you dealt with it for like for 10 minutes. So I was just like about to pass out. And it's the 3D format. And Gökhan Hocam, of course, seeing my reactions, was suggesting snakes. Thank you, Gökhan Hocam. Güler Hocam says, thank you so much. I'm in service teacher. I'm new in this field. I want to try AR apps for my class, but I'm not competent enough. What would you advise for the teachers like me to conduct these AR apps as a beginning?
Yes, that's a great question, actually. So in the previous webinar, we talked about different AR types and AR concept itself, and we have given different types of AR products as well as, ready to go AR apps. So this workshop was a bit harder in that sense because we had to create our own experiences from scratch, and it needed, it had to have a fundamental level of digital competence. For that question, I might suggest to my teachers that we could always use the ready products available at the physical stores. They are no more than 30 liras. You could use them, and I will show you different examples of those. We have Octaland 4D, different colors for teaching colors, and for vocabulary, we have muhteşem eğitici kartlar with more than 30 or 40 images in it. We have coloring books. So you might take advantage of ready products. I think it would be better for you to, get started with it.
And if you'd like to watch the first one, Güler Hocam, it is available on our Inget Turkey YouTube channel. You can watch that.
And if you have any questions later on, please, contact me and I will do everything I can for you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Gökhan Hocam.
Thank you, Hocam.
It's always a pleasure to have you with us, your presentation
Hocam,
skills,
for
your
having me.
topic, your personality, everything. I mean, we feel privileged to get to know
Thank you, Hocam. Thank you for those words.
And my dear colleagues, as usual, I'm grateful for you, for having you with us. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you next week with another guest speaker. Take very good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.